That was weird. But hey, welcome back to another Thursday. I hope you all have a good drink of your choice, and we're gonna start off with more, well, servant material. And before I do continue right away, though, I do want to just thank Yonrei for drawing this amazing piece of art on Blackbeard that I'm using for the thumbnails and all that now for Thursday. Check her out, seriously, it's amazing. I love it. But other character I love is Hans Christian Andersen. Our favorite Shoda dude that is just very sad. Okay, he's not sad, but he's more grouchy. And let's see, Hans. There we have him. I think his design is actually rather nice. It is cute. I will say, and of course, I will never forget Andersen talking smack to Go Tia and all of that. That was good shit. And also his design, the cloth and all this is actually, it's genuine, just really nice. And the book and all that is cool. Oh shit, what happened? That's a very big feather, though. Wait. What? Does he have some weird pentagrams in that book? Nani? Are you supposed to summon Cthulhu? I do like this though, that in his final and going on, that he have this more modern, he has evolved. Oh, god damn it. It's so cute. Especially with the way too big coat. It kind of makes me think on Nishio Hakase, the professor, that running around all the time. Yeah, that's just so cute. Hans Christian Andersen, male historical fact. Denmark, lawful neutral, 146 centimeters. I'm so sure. I mean, then again, he's kid-like. Strength, Constitution, Agility, Luck E, NPC, Magic EX. Dude, holy shit. I mean, I guess it makes sense that his how am I gonna say it? His stats are a bit lower in general because he's not an ancient legend like many other characters and all of that, of course. So, but EX, what will that mean? Also voice Mephistopheles, Ozymandias, and Diffo. What? Do they have the same voice actor? It was Ideo and this? This? Are you serious? What? Oh my god. That is really... I didn't know that actually. Maybe... I think some of you might have told me in the past, possibly. And I'm sorry, I forget. I am... I'm not famous for remembering shit. Sadly. Territory creation D. Creation of a territory that is advantage to himself as a magus. In Andersen's case, it's not the type of territory created for intercepting incoming enemies, but the one that bewilders even the eyes of the foolish enemy master. In his study he created in a place no one can find. He skips out what? Considering move his brush. He skips out work? Is that what I'm trying to say? A certain master had her patient run out with this style of procrastination. She then made a small box, locked him inside, and make him write as fast as he can. That sounds fucking mean! Oh wait, is that the craft essence? Cause, where you see him like in a little cage? Is that what it referenced to? I mean, even then, she then made a small box and locked him inside and make him write faster. That is just crazy. Oh, and it was the crazy... Oh, what was her name? The one that fucks the fucking entire planet. Jamming up in her massive vajunis. Vajan. In her pussy. There we go. I don't care. I get demonetized either way. Well, whatever. Into the vagina, and yeah. I don't remember her name now. I don't know why. I have suppressed memory. Tool creation C. The ability to create various tools by means of magic. Although he does not know of any magic, it seems like he can more or less write up things by his literary work that put his noble fantasy to practical use. That is pretty cool, actually. Like, writing. It kind of makes me on. Is her name Levi in Fairy Tale? That that you write words like iron and it turn like a block of iron and stuff like that. Actually a very cool idea. I can like that. Human observation A. The skill to observe and understand humans. He doesn't simply observe them, but also hypothesizes their life, preferences, even their whole life. A strong memory doesn't forget this information become an important thing to have. The root of Andersen, who is now to be a pessimist, is not that of a reaction, but understanding. What can he do is simply to write stories. But that is exactly why he continues swore that he shall be more earnest than anyone else in what he speaks of. That I don't get the second line. It's like life twice. Wait. Yeah, that's a bit weird when you mention it. The hyphens their life, even their whole life. Yeah, that is a bit weird. But that is actually pretty interesting. I mean, in a way, that's what I do. And when I'm playing games and stuff like that, especially, or when I'm generally thinking of people, that is why I don't try to judge a person from where they are from or the culture and stuff like that, because every person, even if it feels kind of weird when thinking about it, but we all have our different histories, Seriously, it's we have such a long history, every single one of us. I mean, even if you have been following me for a long time, there's still lots of things you don't know about what I have been doing and what I've been through and stuff like that. Yes, like I don't know everything about you guys or anyone else I'm watching and stuff like that. So it is really interesting in that way. Like, what have their life been like? It's a lot. High speed incantation E. The ability to hasten magic incantation speed. It seems like in this case, instead of magic, it benefits the progress of writing his manuscript. Man, I wish I had that ability. Innocent monster D. Indicating the depth. Indicating the depth of distorted truth by means of rumors, without concern of the actual person's own will or appearance. In Andersen's case, it's the curse of the readers. Damn you, readers. Märchen meines Lebens, a story for your sake. Märchen meines Lebens. That is definitely German. I think it must be right. Märchen meines Leben. The unpolished manuscript of his written autobiography, The Fairy Tale of My Life. Each page of this document utilizes magic energy provided from the people who love the author known as Andersen. Take the form of the Andersen that the readers see in their heart, and the capable action as Andersen's offshoot, Bunshin. Like Kagebunshins? Nani? You go full Naruto? However, the true value of this noble phantasm is displayed in beginning this book anew, and write a full copy about the observed target's ideal life and way of being. If the book comes out well, it establishes itself as a novel fantasy and make a target grow in accordance with how the target is written in the book. Oh. The degree of the effect escalates depending on the progress of the manuscript. Several pages would only make a mere coincidence occurs, but should the manuscript is finished, that was weird. But should the manuscript is finished, it's possible to even make the target grow even more the greater form. You haven't seen my final form. Indeed. This is not even my final form. It almost appears as an omnipotent noble phantasy, but it's difficult to put this noble phantasy to practical use. The time to take to write the manuscript is one obvious problem, but his own negative outlook of life and his pride as an author do not allow for convenient development. And if the target is not someone that stimulates his inspiration, there's a risk of the manuscript becoming a poor piece of work. Märchen meines Lebens is a German title for the Fairy Tale of My Life book. Yay for MP name with corresponding languages. Yes, I agree. But Honestly, that is actually a really interesting MP. Like, imagine being able to like write and empower the person. No wonder that crazy planet warring nun is interested in him. I mean, can he make her make him right and just make her stronger? I mean, that is something. That is so serious. That is actually pretty cool. Though, as said, it seems to be a very, either it can turn out insane or just meh. Can't turn out like that. Character. He's one of the world's 3 greatest writers, but as a servant he's summoned with the appearance of a 10-year-old. A gloomy and pessimistic poet with a wicked tongue. He completely has no interest in being liked by others, and is incapable of discovering his own worth. Due to that, he does not have an outlook of enjoying one's own life. Described briefly is an abusive, pessimistic author. He had never managed to gain what he desired during his life, not a single thing. One can consider that the personality of his is the cause of that. Yeah, I can relate to that. Like that's how I feel many times. Like I feel like I never managed to reach what I desire. Andersen looks as if he hates anything and everything in this world, but at his root, his character is one of that is good at taking care of others. Should others depend on him, he would answer them to the limit of his ability. He's methodical like an author is, and a perfect in aftercare as well. Due to that, if one can bear even his abusive tongue, one can say that he's a servant worth of trust. While he may be pessimistic, shut up, phone. He will never laugh at the effort of others in living correctly and accomplish things with all their might. Because of that, this form of the ideal world that he, who had continued composing career, had once dreamt of and wished for. Yeah, that's sweet. But who is the third, the greatest writers? Because I do know. I mean, I assume the first one is obviously Andersen, Shakespeare. But who is the third one? Tolkien, J.K. Rowling, Astrid Lindgren. The 3 greatest of force. See what I will say. Lister. Seem like they're popping up mostly English. Oh well, whatever. It is not of importance anyway. Still though, we're curious. If anyone knows, please tell me. Please tell me. Motives and attitude towards master. He has no ability in combat, declaring that he's faulty good of a servant and saying, I'm not useful in the slightest. Aggressively at every opportunity. If one carelessly praises his work, then not only he would say that a fan would definitely not want to know him and return back any opinion and complaints, but he'll also keep on making excuses and abuse the master with, you dumbass. Truly a pain in the ass of a servant. Whether the master accepts his attitude as abandoning responsibility to fight and insubordinate, or instead as complete sincere, depending on how the master takes it to heart. Andersen has no wish towards the Holy Grail. However, he would keep on saying things like, since you summoned me, I'll work, but honestly speaking, I really, really don't want to work. As he continues to help the master, resulting in a complex and gunny sort of distortion. Gunny? Like a straight stick crooked in water is that sort of thunderous surf. Gunny is a mimetic word. Don't know what's the proper. That's weird. But yeah, that is interesting. I mean, that is literally the image we have gotten from Andersen, and all the times I've seen her. And that is obviously that he's just an incredible, depressed, pessimistic, I mean, not depressed, but pessimistic character and all of that. But also that's one reason why we like him. At least I do like him. Speech example. I'll introduce myself right away. A third-rate servant, Andersen. Still, that's the face of an ordinary person, so ordinary that it amazes me. One that knows not of grief or sorrow, simply the face of a victim thrown away to this world. Very well, that isn't bad. That's how a jester should be. I say that foolishness is a sin, but being thrown away to this world as an ordinary one is a windfall. In any rate, good and evil is both something you can enjoy. Don't say that, you're gonna jinx us. Let us disparage the value of human earnestly. Even assuming life has value, in the end it's probably lower than how humans envision it. Thus the brush is broken, the writer left forgotten. Truly, what a refreshing feeling. That doesn't sound like a good thing, though. Historical depiction. An actual person, he was born in Denmark in the year of 1805 and he died from liver cancer in 1875. Well, he became 70. That is not too shabby, considering especially in the 1800s. Nowadays he is said as one of the three great fairy tale authors, but half his life been filled with failure and agony. The three great fairy tale authors. I'm gonna see if that's give us something. I do get like top 10 though. But the Grimm brothers, of course, pops up there. I forgot the Grimm brothers. That Bröderna Grimm, as we call in Swedish. He was born a son of a cobbler and had planned to become an actor, but gave up without showing any result. He then set his eye on becoming a poet, but was valued harshly. Finally, with the money he gained from his self-published book, he proceeded on leaving the country. He was 30 by the time he finally recognized in the world with his book, The Improvisator, which was written with the inspiration he earned during his time outside of the country. I never heard of that one. Afterward, he switched to become a fairy tale author, but his fairy tale is by nature filled with mayhem and sorrow, poverty, and colored with the literal style that paints death as salvation. Yeah, that is kind of depressing. He borrowed the shape of a fairy tale and keeps on writing the despair of utter grief from poverty and how there is no escape from this than death, all the while covering every thought that whirls within his own heart with those beautiful sentences. His work included The Ugly Duckling, The Snow Queen, The Little Match Girl, and others. And Little Mermaid, of course. He was single his whole life. He said that he had died while holding a letter from one he had loved, keeping it close to. Aww. Dude. But there is something general, when it comes to people that are living for their work in one way. That they tend to be like this, they're ending up alone and all of that. I mean, considering that the amount of work they put into things. In-game role, he appeared in the fourth chapter. Oh God! He has secluded himself in the inner room of the apartment belonging to Henry Jekyll, who was struggling in London, which has been visited with strange phenomenon. Together with his strangely friendly William Shakespeare servant. Okay, so Jekyll was actually human there. They had written manuscript. While also passing as a literary comic duo with Shakespeare, there was also a scene where he displays characteristics as a fairy tale author and talking smack to fucking Goethe. I'm just saying, rolling past work. He appeared in Fate Extra CCCCCCCC top. He is a master sexual. Oh, Kiara was it! Who immediately withdrawn from the battle. With her being his master, he promptly devoted his true character. He never fought until the end because he had no combat ability, but his peculiar status. He played the role of judge of this tale, neither winning nor losing. What? I need to check the Fates Extra CC sometime. Connection with other characters. Shakespeare. Author connected, connection. A relationship with around the extent of just because they're in the same circle does not mean they are best friends in particular, but there is no other friends, so they're hanging out together. Still, he freaking looks for Shakespeare's study. He will never say it, but his respect to Shakespeare is obvious for anyone to see. Oh, Dumas! Alexander Dumas, The Three Musketeers and Monte Cristo, I think. Vexing yet interesting, but I'll never approve of this sort of pleasure for the sake of pleasure. While gripping title of the newspaper and go read a sequel of The Count of Monte Cristo. What? No, I need to check a bit quickly. If I don't remember wrong, Dumas Alexander Dumas. Alexandre Dumas was it even. Not Alexander, Alexandre. What did you write, you piece of work? Captain Pearl, Le Capitani Pearl. The Fencing Master, the Corsican Brothers, the Nutcracker. The Nutcracker was it. Monte Cristo. Oh, he did write Monte Cristo. The D'Artagnan Romances. Yeah, he's written a shit ton of books. Holy crap. That's interesting. But I guess it wasn't him that wrote The Three Musketeers. Oh well, Alter Ego. I have a bad presentiment. You're all still fine, but don't tell me we're going to have that come. That. Wow, Kiera was planned to be Alter Ego this way back. Yeah, it seemed like they're way back planned for this. Commented from Illustrator. The glass with super long sleeve is here, but I regret a bit as expected. Maybe with white rub looks too simple. Nah, I think it's nice. Yeah. Flying. Each time I put Andersen in a party, I'm like, isn't there any other clothes that would fit him better? Even now I'm still thinking about something with overlong sleeves, padded kimono, pajamas. That would be cute actually, but I think that's nice. I think it's cute with the long robe and all that. But this one is even. I really like Andersen, not just because of his sassiness. There's a lot of weird phrases. You know this. But my English is also poor, so I left it as it was. But whenever I comment mid-profile, I will use italic. His MP function is similar to Shakespeare, and Sean's skill talking about Shakespeare. Yeah. But yeah, Andersen, I do agree. I think he is a pretty good character, you know. I think he is looking really good. He has have a really nice design, and of course how he is as a character, you know, when he like talk shit to Gautier and stuff like that. And not to mention that his gameplay mechanics is pretty good actually for such a low star 7, making him a very good like budget version of Merlin and stuff like that. Obviously, he is not Merlin. I can't replace Merlin in that regard or something like that. But he's good in the things he do, I think. And I actually think on grailing him in the future. I know I say that a lot, but there are so many servants I want to do. I wish I got more grails, man. I really need that. But in general, I think Andersen is a very cool, a very well done character. And I think it's more interesting. Well, interesting. I mean, when it comes to like describing why he looks like a child, they actually do that instead of just, you know, randomly gender bent or making them appear like a little girl or little boy. You know, I think it's more important when they can do like describe why they do that. Like for him, it is that, you know, his vision of when he was dreaming of, you know, all the stories and stuff like that. And that makes me. And Da Vinci, for example, that she's, well, he's taking the form of Mona Lisa and all that. So I think that makes more, you know, that makes more sense in general. So, but yeah, I think he is a really good character, well made. And I'm curious though more about the Fate Extra CCC and all of that. I need to see that. Oh, spooky blank page. Well, here is William Shakespeare. He's part of the duo that do duo things with Andersen and doing just, he's being weird because he's Shakespeare and we know all he's betraying us one way or another at times. But he has a cool, I mean, I like the coat thing, man. That's actually fab. Oh shit, the book is flying away. Beware, the book is sentient. It will look for a face to attack and leech on and reproduce. And then out from his chest pops a little Andersen out. Oh god, what a mental image that is. That hat is weird. I'm just saying, the hat is odd, but I guess it fits with the age and all. But the book is cool, and the cloth otherwise is pretty cool. Though it's such a big shift from like Ah, green looks lovely, a bit open and all that. Evil Sith Lord. Not to mention his final ascension art, he looks literally like, well, that guy murdered someone. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he did. William Shakespeare, England, true neutral, 184 and 75 kilos. Strength E, Constitution E, Agility D, Magic C++, Luck B, MPC+. Oh well. Inada Tetsu as voice actor also voiced Hassan of the Cursed Arm, Tesla, Banky, and Babat. What? That is awesome. Oh god damn it! I think it's so cool, and many of these voice actors you don't hear when they do the different voices. You know, like what? At other times you do, but at times not. Territory creation C, creation of territory that is advantageous to himself as a magus. However, what he created is not a workshop, but a study to spin stories. So similar to Andersen there. Tool creation. This skill is lost to his inherent enchant skill. Oh. Okay. What are we doing that? Enchant. Bestowal of concept. It adds power function on others or all their properties. Fundamentally, it is a strength ability with a purpose to make the master fight. He himself watches over the battles and audience, irritating the masters he inquires the master's physiological state. Ah, why didn't you dodge that attack, master? Ah, you motherfucker! Oh, you should probably focus on the battle instead of me, like, I'm dying! Yeah, I can notice that. I see that happen. Self-preservation B. In exchange for having no combat ability, as long as the master is safe, he's able to escape from most danger. In other words, he himself never fights at all. Yet for all that, he himself is fond of high-risk, high-reward type of tactics. Kind of funny, makes me think on an character my friend made for an RP like 15 years ago, something like that. It was a long time ago. And it was a random, weird RP that we had made. It was so fucking weird. Because I know I made a henchman. My friend made a villain, and I made a henchman to that villain, which was named the Blueberry, because he was round as a ball, dressed in blue spandex, and his ability was literally that he could summon an wrestling arena, and anyone that enters it needed to play the role of a wrestler. They were forced into that kind of role, and he then would fight them like. It was so weird. And my friend's character, this villain, had this ability that he could never be locked in or chained or anything like that. If you somehow like put him in a door and say like, now I'm locking you in here, that door will just collapse or anything. He can't be caught otherwise. If you just put him in a cell and not say anything, then it doesn't work. It's so fucking weird, but I don't know why, but it is how I imagine this, like, I can escape from anything. Oh god, that character was so weird, that ability. Like, Kingsmen, the Globe, a miniature magic version of Shakespeare's Noble Fetas. Let the curtains rise to thunderous applause. Unlike his novel fandom, it doesn't consume much magic energy. It summons shadow actors without any combat ability and manipulate them at will. That's cool. Shakespeare is the one that decided shadow actors' line, but the shadow actors themselves automatically imitate the target in regards to the line's details, such as the tone of the lines or how it's said. So there's nowhere of exposure on that part. Even if one understands that the shadow actors are fake, it requires a powerful force of will in order to break this magic. That is pretty interesting. Holy shit. First Folio. Let the curtain rise to thunderous applause. First Folio. The ultimate play that Shakespeare unleashes. Regardless of friend or foe, the target is made in someone that appears in his place. On top of that, the target is then thrust with challenges. Frosty. Of past regrets of heroes and of moments of their fall for anti-heroes. An anti-mind novel that break the mind of any and every hero. What? That sounds crazy. As people will probably already know, First Folio was a collection of Shakespeare play post his death. Yeah. Its actual title was William Shakespeare Comedies, Histories, and Tragedies, but modern scholar comedy called it the First Folio. It was printed in folio format and contains about 36 plays. That's pretty. I didn't know it was printed on folio like that. Cool. Damn. Character. Waggering everything on the works that he writes. One can say that he's writing junkie. Fundamentally, he holds no interest in anything other than things he finds to be interesting. And he detests mediocrity. Falling into either side of good or evil, he sometimes even wished to write about tragedy on his own allies. Not even a single virtue in him, and yet at the same time he is not wicked. Truly a neutral existence that could fall to either side of the scale of good and evil depending on which is more amusing. Yeah, that is like literally neutral character of an, D&D. Like, you put... What are you doing, Shanli? Like, yes, pretty much neutral right there. Motives and attitude toward master. He does not attend to masters with pure sincerity in mind. To begin with, his natural style is one that's opposed to master, a type of servant that does not really show himself. In addition, he detests mediocrity and is fond of disturbance. It is the same way in regard of he treats the master, preferring all or nothing, sink or swim type of gamble of a steady plan. Yes? I'm sorry, my brain. In other words, the component that he decides from master is a combat ability that is comparable, or if not, then at least mystical that is comparable, to a servant, and a stormy life full of drama, one which accomplished as a hero, be it falling to a tragedy or a comedy. And obviously, a master possesses such company is decidedly rare in these days and age. Yeah, he should probably watch me though. I tend to be like turning into comedy at least. Maybe not so much tragedy, which I guess is a good thing, but comedy definitely. Caster Shakespeare have arrived here. Now then, shall we enter the beginning of this tale? The thing I hate is decidedly obvious. I absolutely loathe ordinary ones. Okay, sorry for being ordinary, I guess. For they are no more than rabbles easily manipulated by the likes of Antonio. Antonio Banderas? I guess? Oh wait, Japanese said Antonio, assuming this refers to this Antonio. Could probably be, yeah. Could probably be. I think Antonio Banderas though. May your tale is met with blessed ending. May you face your path with strength, no matter what tragedy befalls you. And should your tale become a comedy, may it end such that anyone will stand in applause. That's okay. Perhaps the most famous playwright in the world. Even in the history of England, there are so many authors who managed to gain popularity that equal those of heroes. Not only in England, even in Europe, Asia, or America, there are probably nobody who doesn't know about the name of Shakespeare or his works. Romeo and Juliet, King Lear, Macbeth, or Merchant of Venice. To say nothing of his numerous quotes such as, "To be or not to be, that is thy question." Or, "Oh Romeo, Romeo, where art thou, Romeo?" There are probably only a very small amount of people who have yet heard of it. In the present era, the first edition print of First Folio that has survived amounts of roughly 200 copies. Sorry. Its value would change depending on the damage on it, yet still range around approximately 3 to 6 million British pounds sterling each. What? That's a lot of money. But that as is may, while it's evidence fact they've written numerous works, it's also true that those works have influenced roughly every story in the modern world. To add, he himself is an eccentric, exceedingly fond of stories, just as he's fond of tragedy and drama regardless of good and evil. He's ever in embracing the hope for the master and for all the others connect to him, a hope for their story yet to be seen, yet to be heard, and yet to be known. And somehow in his heart, and somehow, somewhere in his heart, he embraced a faint envy in something he is not in no other way to describe. William Shakespeare is, too, a drama actor. To take a leading part in a story filled with the brim with vicissitudes. vicissitudes. I don't know really what that is for word, but perhaps that is the very thing William Shakespeare. And let's see what it was: 350 mil to 700 million in the mask. I'm gonna British pound because I feel like it's more appropriate. Still, that is a lot of money. Connection with other characters. Andersen still have not decided the circle name. Friendship circle. Don't say that, you know. There can be some give it up to fans to make stuff happen, which would actually be fucking weird, and probably we should call the cops if that happened. I'm just saying, but we know it's. I do like the idea though of these two, Andersen and Shakespeare, you know, this friendship thing going on. I really do like that. Do you know Da Vinci key animator? What? Key animator? Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, music producer, Blackbeard director. Blackbeard director. Yes, Blackbeard director. Gaia whispers to me to keep on drawing, to class change him from a bit of an old man to a full-blown old man. Okay, I guess the severity and stress of the manuscript deadline has really piled up on me. Now that I look at it, even the drawing of his last exchange looks like the face of a man finishing manuscript while chugging energy drinks all day and night. For his sprite, I really enjoy giving his finishing touch of the looks quite handsome if he just stays silent, but gives off a bad feeling the moment he opens his mouth nuance. Yeah, it do kind of look like that, I guess. Potato. Potato, you're back here again. The obvious similarity with Andersen's side, the best part is definitely character connection and illustrate. Yeah, I do agree, that was awesome. Even if Shakespeare has his doubts about putting Blackbeard as a director, take that. Give Blackbeard a chance. I think Blackbeard could be great if given the chance. I mean, how many others can we put there? I don't know, really. I don't know. But I'm aware of those black stripes also on the MP name. I just don't know how to take off this because I'm dumb. Also, laces. Oh, don't worry. It doesn't bother me. Also, lace in spirit of the 2/7 we covered today. See you next Thursday. As I pretend I did all first servants in a single day. Definitely didn't go lazy to finish postpone it. So don't worry. I believe you already done 10 of these, Potato. Indeed. But yes. As of Shakespeare, I will say I do like Andersen more than Shakespeare. Shakespeare is more of an he's such an unpredictable character, I would say. I think he's okay, definitely okay, but I do think Andersen is more interesting, more fun, in my opinion. But I do think his design and his ability is definitely actually really good. It's definitely good stuff. I like that. And I do hope to see more. I mean, he also do have appeared quite a bit in events and stuff like that, and singularities, as I know. And not to mention, like, Shinjuku, he appeared in the Apocrypha event, and I'm pretty sure we saw him more elsewhere as well. Oh, London and all of that. So, but yes, that will be for me for now of this week's FGO Thursday. I will be back with more next week. So thank you for watching, see you later on, and have a continued super great day.